It's the morning of May 31, 1223, as the sun rises over the vast, wind-swept steppes near the Kalka River in what is now Ukraine. A massive coalition of Rus princes and their Cuman allies, perhaps as many as 80,000 strong, gathers with a mix of determination and unease, their banners fluttering in the breeze. Across the plain, a smaller Mongol force, led by the brilliant generals Subutai and Jebe, watches with cold precision, their disciplined ranks betraying no hint of fear. What unfolds on this day is not merely a battle, but a masterstroke of deception, a devastating lesson in warfare that will leave the Kalka River stained with blood. The Mongols, already feared as an unstoppable force, are about to cement their legend. How did this moment, this catastrophic defeat, come to pass? By 1223, the Mongol Empire, forged under the iron will of Genghis Khan, has become a force of nature, sweeping across Asia with unparalleled ferocity. From the shores of the Pacific to the edges of the Caspian Sea, their conquests have left cities in ashes and empires in ruin, their name alone enough to make kings tremble. Their armies, built around swift cavalry and deadly composite bows, strike with the speed of a storm and vanish just as quickly. Subutai, a strategist of unmatched genius, and Jebe, known as the Arrow, have already crushed the Khwarezmian Empire in Central Asia, a campaign that claimed millions of lives and showcased the Mongols' terrifying blend of mobility, discipline, and psychological warfare. Now their sights are set on the unknown lands of Europe, probing the strength of new adversaries in a campaign that began as mere reconnaissance, but is about to become something far more devastating. In the volatile world of 1223, the Kipchaks, also known as the Cumans, are a nomadic people whose mastery of horsemanship nearly rivals that of the Mongols themselves, their lives woven into the endless steppes stretching from the Black Sea to Central Asia. Yet their lands now lie ravaged, their herds stolen, and their people scattered by relentless Mongol raids sweeping westward like a wildfire. Desperate for survival, the Kipchaks turn to the Rus principalities. The Rus princes, led by figures like Mstislav the Bold of Galicia and Mstislav of Kiev, see in this crisis both a threat to their borders and a chance to win glory against a fearsome new enemy. Together they forge a coalition of formidable size, mustering an army estimated at 80,000 strong, a diverse force of Rus knights in heavy armor, archers, spearmen, and the swift, lightly armed Kipchak cavalry. This alliance, gathered under the banners of rival princes, believes its sheer numbers and knowledge of the steppe terrain will be enough to crush the Mongol invaders. But the Mongols, led by the brilliant generals Subutai and Jebe, are no ordinary foe, and they command a tightly disciplined army of approximately 20,000 cavalry, outnumbered 4-1, yet poised to exploit their enemies' overconfidence. Commanding a force of approximately 20,000 cavalry, Subutai assigns small, agile units, perhaps 2,000 to 3,000 horse archers armed with deadly composite bows, to harass the coalition of 80,000 Rus and Kipchak warriors. These skirmishers strike with precision, unleashing volleys of arrows before vanishing into the grasslands, goading the enemy into a grueling pursuit. Subutai, with the remaining 17,000 to 18,000 of his army, executes a carefully choreographed feigned retreat, pulling back just far enough to keep the coalition chasing, yet never allowing a full engagement. This calculated withdrawal stretches the Rus-Kipchak forces across rivers and plains, their ranks thinning and their discipline fraying under the strain of the chase. The Rus principalities, Kiev, Galicia-Volhynia, Chernigov, and others, along with their Kipchak allies, follow at a fragmented distance of 1 mile between their forces. Mstislav the Bold of Galicia, eager for glory, presses forward with his Galician troops and Kipchak cavalry, while Mstislav of Kiev and others lag behind, their lack of coordination stretching the coalition dangerously thin across rivers and plains. Here, Subutai halts,
reuniting his 20,000 riders in a disciplined formation ready to spring the ambush. The Rus-Kipchak coalition, its unity shattered by rivalries and fatigue, stumbles into the open plain, a sprawling, vulnerable mass, perfectly positioned for the devastating blow Subutai has meticulously planned. The Rus vanguard charges across the Kalka River, believing the Mongols are once again in retreat. But this is no flight. Subutai has chosen his ground carefully, a wide plain where his cavalry can unleash their full might. As dawn breaks on May 31st, the Mongols spring their ambush with devastating precision. As the vanguard crosses the river, Mongol heavy cavalry, clad in armor and wielding lances, thunders into their ranks, while horse archers unleash a hail of arrows from all sides. The Kipchaks, realizing too late that they've been outmaneuvered, break in panic, their retreat crashing into the advancing Rus troops and turning the battlefield into a chaotic nightmare. The Mongols, moving with the precision of a well-oiled machine, exploit every misstep, their arrows cutting down men by the thousands as the coalition's numerical advantage dissolves into disorder.
The slaughter is relentless. The Rus forces, fragmented by poor coordination and rivalries among the princes, are unable to mount a cohesive defense. Mongol archers, riding in tight formations, fire and wheel away in a deadly dance, while their heavy cavalry encircles and crushes pockets of resistance. Mstislav the Bold manages to escape with a handful of his men, but for most, there is no such mercy. The plain becomes a killing field, littered with the bodies of Rus knights and Kipchak warriors, the Kalka River choked with the fallen. Yet the Mongols' cruelty is far from spent. Mstislav of Kiev, refusing to flee, withdraws with his remaining forces to a fortified camp with baggage rails on a nearby hill, hoping to outlast the enemy. For 3 days, the Mongols besiege the camp, cutting off water and supplies, their presence a suffocating weight on the defenders' spirits. In a final act of deception, Subutai sends emissaries to the Rus camp, offering safe passage in exchange for surrender. Exhausted and desperate, Mstislav and his men accept, laying down their arms, but the Mongols have no intention of honoring their word. The surrendered Rus are slaughtered, and the princes, including Mstislav, face a fate as gruesome as it is symbolic. They are bound and placed beneath wooden boards where the Mongols hold a victory feast, their weight slowly crushing the life from their captives. It is a chilling reminder of Mongol ruthlessness, a message to all who would dare resist. Defiance comes at a terrible cost.